Good evening and welcome to LoOG Center. As always, I am your commissioner, Thomas Offen.
And I am defending champion Jeff Ribbons, filling in for Greg Brown, who's filming more bum fights.
Oh, good luck with that, Greg. All right, well, the regular season is over. Week 13 is in the books. So we're going to quickly go over the games from this week, and then we're going to get right into the playoff picture. So, without further ado, it's time for
the Blitz. Going into our first matchup, Chubby Funster taking on the Gothenburg Vikings. No love loss here. A lot of animosity between these two. Probably one of the most hated rivalries in the LoOG. And the Funster comes out on top, saddling up Adrian Peterson for 30 points. The New York Giants defense kicking in 21. And Chris Johnson has really been a fancy dud for the Gothenburg Vikings the last couple weeks. 109-70. Tomo takes it down.
Second week in a row, I score 109 points. Very nice. Next up, Prestige Worldwide in their final game of the season succumbs to the Pink Flesh Hammer, 80-69. Prestige Worldwide's season is over, but at least he gives us one more opportunity to say 69. Stay classy.
Yeah. Way to bury the lead there.
But how do I bury the lead?
This is pretty important stuff. Flesh Hammer, 2-game win streak.
Which is also over, because his season is now kaputski.
Ouch. Next up, Sugar Hill Gang taking on the F-Bombers. This was a near skunking. Near skunking. But once again, the F-Bombers don't score enough to beat the Pink Flesh Hammer, which is the real story here. Congratulations to the Sugar Hill Gang, 96-56 over the F-Bombers.
Next up, Play Nasty gets skunked by the Cock Ringos, 67-135. Cock Ringos are not letting their foot off the gas going into the playoffs here. Kyle Orton made me feel better about trading him away with a 2-point week this week. Mason Crosby with 11 points. Never a good sign when your second highest scorer is your kicker. On the other side of the ball, Arian Foster continues to dazzle with 22 fantasy points, just as I predicted at the beginning of the season.
Indeed. A lot of early season predictions didn't go our way.
Hey.
All right, up next, Team Jesus taking on the Slobberknockers. And despite Jesus smoting Brett Favre, still not enough to pull off the miracle victory at the end of the season. Jesus is going to finish 1-12. Ouch! Slobberknockers 64, Jesus 61.
Brett Favre, -1 point in that game. 0 yards, 0 TDs, 1 interception, and a very large headache.
Yes.
Next up, Team Jacob taking on the Stepdads. And this was a skunk!
No.
It was, wait.
Just.
You get skunked when you double up on...
Just
a point shy.
Our old friend Math.
Oh, Math, rearing your ugly head again. You know what? I don't care. Skunk!
Skunk that bitch!
Yeah! Stepdad's taking it to the woodshed, and he's also not letting his gas off the foot pedal.
No, indeed. Next up, Ray Finkel's boys travels to the Lobster Dome. And he gets boiled. 92-58. Responsible Lobster had straight noseless burger. 13 fantasy points, 253 yards, 1 TD and an INT. Tell you what, Roethlisberger's going to look like the kid from Mask pretty soon. Because he's been taking a beating between a motorcycle and everything else. Finkel, get ready for your matchup with the Funster in the first round of the consolation bracket.
Responsible Lobster with 13 straight home games. Not wins, just
home games.
Just home games, 13 straight. All right, and in this week's Game of the Week, finally, we have something that lives up to the hype.
Wow.
There was a lot on the line this week, as a bye week in the first round of the playoffs hung in the balance.
Yes.
Also hanging in the balance, Game of the Week standings, as both of these teams were undefeated in the Game of the Week. So, who do we got? We got Smithfield Slugs, Team Evil. Who wins by 2 points, you ask? Team Evil. Very well done.
Pulls it out for the longest time. Didn't look like it was going to go his way. And I tell you what, the -4 points that the Jets kicked in for him on Monday night didn't help either.
No. Final score, Team Evil 93, Smithfield Slugs 91. Michael Vick trying to help out the Slugs 31 fantasy points, but not getting it done. On the other side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers taking care of business.
Aaron Rodgers? Oh.
No, that doesn't work. No. Aaron Rodgers, 26 points. Christopher tickling the ivories, 25 fantasy points.
Not all these tickling.
Oh, all right.
Taking a look at the final regular season standings in Charles in Charge. Responsible Lobster at 9-3 wins the division, securing the all-important bye week. And Touchdown Jesus does not secure the bye week.
Looking at the final standings at the Saved by the Bell division, enjoy it now because you'll never see this graphic again. Cock Ringos at the top with 1,387 points, followed by the Stepdads. Team Evil, Slobberknockers, blah, 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 blah. And at the bottom, you got F-Bombers over the Pink Flesh Hammer.
Bull, by the way.
Yeah, Yeah.
Should switch that.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
All right, looking at the Game of the Week, the final standings, our Game of the Week champion, Das Joel, the owner of Team Evil, with a 2-0 record, undefeated in the Game of the Week. Congratulations, Joel.
Congratulations. And taking a look at the final Game of the Week standings, see Team Evil, as we said before, on top, Smithfield Slugs, and then a whole bunch of people we don't care about anymore.
Not even a little bit.
Oh, and the final interleague standings of the regular season. Charles in Charge with a mere 12 wins, Saved by the Bell division with 20. So you can enjoy that victory as you are a big part of that.
That's right. That's right. I am a member of the winners.
And in this week's top story, as we alluded to at the beginning of the show, this was the last week of the regular season in the League of Ordinary Gentlemen. So the way it breaks down in the postseason for us is such. The top 6 teams will go on and play the championship bracket. The following 6 teams will then go on and play in a consolation bracket to determine who is the best of the worst. And then the final 4 teams are left out in the cold. They will no longer be playing in the League of Ordinary Gentlemen this year. So if you take a look at this graphic, you'll see the names of the 4 teams. And unfortunately, your name appears on this list. Any idea what you're going to do with your free time?
Fantasy season never ends, Tom.
Oh.
I'm going to start preparing for next year, look at the prospects coming in, get my draft together, and be ready to do better next year.
Okay. So these 4 teams are fallen, but they're not forgotten. As you can see in this clip from this afternoon, when Jeff and I rummaged through the jungle to find the tributes to our fallen comrades. Well, it's just like on Survivor, we've been trekking through the jungle for hours. And the first placard we've come across is Prestige Worldwide. You remember Brooks,
yes,
right?
Indeed.
Brooks had a rough year, his first year in the LoOG, but couldn't quite make the postseason.
No. I had a lot of high expectations for Brooks, and he did not fulfill those, unfortunately. And now here we stand.
Well, Brooks, we'll miss you in the LoOG. Better luck next year. And now we've come across the Touchdown Jesus sign. You remember Greg Brown, another team we had high hopes for, a former LoOG runner-upper, I believe.
I think so, yes.
Had another tough year, no postseason.
Once again, a team I had very high expectations for, and fell dramatically short of those expectations. And next we come upon another long-time league stalwart, if you will, the F-Bombers, managed by Faith Richardson.
Faith just barely missed the playoffs this year, but I think she'll do better next year. Unless she has more kids, in which case the kids will divert her attention yet again.
Even more.
And she really has potential to pull off a touchdown Jesus and come in dead last.
Yeah. You know, I think a lot of it might be karma. You know, she brought it on herself. She said a lot of hurtful and inflammatory things towards the end of the season, and you reap what you sow.
Indeed. Faith, we'll see you next year. And now we've come across the final sign for the Pink Flesh Hammer, formerly known as Sterling Archer. Jeff, any last words?
It was a tough year. It was an inauspicious beginning with me missing the first 4 rounds of the draft. Definitely set me back. Finishing on a high note, however, with a remarkable 2-game winning streak. You know, I can at least take that into the next season. A little momentum, I hope. The artwork on this one, I don't need an explanation.
No.
Well done.
Yes, it's a Pink Flesh Hammer.
It is. Nice big pink flesh hammer.
All right. Well, we'll see you next year then.
Indeed, we will.
And you won't be able to introduce the show as defending champion.
No, I still might.
Wow, that was very powerful stuff.
Very heartfelt. I appreciated that.
And we might have ripped that off from Survivor.
Yeah, they're going to be lawyering up.
Yeah, we should probably do the same.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, playoffs.
Playoffs?